Hey guys, sorry if I'm not super excited for this intro. This is like the fourth time I've recorded it. Not just a little part of this video. Multiple things have gone wrong for multiple reasons, and this is now the fourth or fifth time. I'm kind of tired, and I don't want to keep saying the same thing anymore. Anyway, this is this guy. He's got a different perspective on the UK. He's lived outside of the UK for quite a while. And this is what he thinks when he comes back and he looks around and he sees what the fuck we see.
The reason why I'm talking about this today is because on Sunday I went to Trafford Centre. Now, if you know where Trafford Centre is, it's in Manchester, Northwest, where I'm from. And I remember I was walking with my mum to the food hall, and I just looked around and I was like, wait a minute, what the hell is going on here? Like, you're gonna laugh at this next point. I was like, where's the white people at? I actually said that to Mum. I was like, Mum, what the hell is going on? I don't even feel like I'm
I mean, I would laugh if it was funny. But yeah, we experience that all the time and it's getting worse.
in England anymore. Like, if you literally blindfolded someone and you just popped them into that shopping centre that day, you would not think that you was in England. You have no idea where you were. And I don't think that's a good thing. Controversial statement, I don't think that's a good thing. And the reason why I'm saying this is because when you've lived in another country, like when I've been in the Philippines, I know exactly where I'm at. Like, you see Filipinos everywhere. And that gives you the identity of that country. This country, you would not even know where the hell you are. You will have.
So if you invite a bunch of Africans and Pakistanis and Eritreans into your country and allow them to ghettoize, you lose part of your country. It becomes their place with their culture, their traditions, their laws, everything. You've lost that part of your country if you allow them to stay. I mean.
No idea. And when that happens, when a country majority is like, foreigners, whatever, it loses its identity. Like, if I'm going,
Yes, you've got it. When England stops being England because it's got no more English, well, what do you call that?
if I'm going to a place, I want them people to be there. Like, if I'm going to Italy, I would expect Italians to be there. If I'm going to Thailand, I would expect Thais to be there. You go for that culture, you go for that place. And
I mean, it depends where you go in Thailand. If you go to certain, like Pattaya or Chiang Mai, you'll probably see more white people than you do native Thais.
England is not that place anymore. It really isn't. And I honestly think it's irreversible at this point.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not irreversible. I can promise you that. We just need to We just need to start deporting people. Just deport people. Start with the criminals, then move outward into branching circles, moving on from person to person, and eventually they'll be gone. Now, if you've got a job and you're contributing to society and you've got no negative things to say about the country that is hosting you, then you can stay. But if you're, not very nice, you're malicious, you've got bad intent, you don't like the country or its traditions, maybe you're racist against the native people, you don't have a job, maybe you've never had a job, well, you're deported because you're of no value to this country.
The amount of foreigners now in this country, and a lot of them probably have been here for years upon years upon years.
It doesn't matter if you're a net negative on this country. It doesn't matter.
They're not going to leave, are they?
Yes, they will.
They're not going to leave the country.
Yes, they will.
They're embedded, they're rooted, they've got families here.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
They've got homes.
Doesn't matter.
Jobs.
Okay, now we're speaking.
Yeah, the culture's completely shifted. And the reason why I used to really appreciate English culture is I used to live in Africa, where don't get me wrong, Africa is a beautiful place.
It's a shithole though, isn't it?
place. It's got some absolutely beautiful scenery. But I distinctly remember when I was over there living there for 2 to 3 years, I missed England. And when I came back, it felt like I came back to England.
To the first world. Yeah, I imagine that was an eye-opening experience. You got used to third world detritus and you came through the gates into a first world country and all that means. Yeah, I've done it myself. It is different. After having lived abroad for quite some time, I came back to London and it did feel alien in how advanced technologically, it looked clean. I mean, obviously I didn't land in Elephant Castle or the other place, the Tower Hamlet. Yeah, I mean,
England. I've come back from the Philippines and I don't know where the hell I'm at. I've only been out of the country a year and I have not got a clue what this place is. And you're probably thinking, well, maybe it's just in the shopping centre. No, it's everywhere now.
yeah.
And the worst thing is, like, England is losing.
It's everywhere because the government's on record saying that they wanted to disperse these people next to schools, next to shopping centres, next to public institutions, in the city centres. And we know that they're doing this because there's evidence of it. There's emails talking about Operation Scatter and how they want to house these migrants all across the UK by stealth. Even in Darlington, right next to my hometown of Middlesbrough, yesterday's story was talking about how a gym is being transformed into a HMO. They wanted to do this in order to ingratiate them more easily into the society because they deemed if they hid them away in the hills or wherever they were going to put them, then it would be harder for the poor migrants to integrate and obviously, you know, touch our children.
It's like its identity of like what used to make England great. Like, you know, like when you used to go to a pub, where's the
Right. Okay, 2 points there. England used to be great before mass immigration. It's as simple as that. That's an easy one to answer. And the second question, they're going after public houses, pubs, because a lot of the councils that legislate the bureaucracy that is revolved around these things, they are now led by Islamists, Muslims. And I'm not pointing like them out like explicitly, but there's a lot of them and they hate the public house. The government doesn't like the public house, the pub, because we'd go there and we'd talk. But the Muslims don't like it because we drink as well. And that's halal. None of that.
the pubs? A lot of them are shut down. Now you're probably saying, well, okay, well that's not down to foreigners. True. But at the same time though, why are we not preserving these pubs? You know what I mean? Like this, you think English, you think pubs.
Look, there was no problem with the public house up until mass immigration. So when you say it's not a problem with foreigners, what do you mean and how layered are you? How layered is that question?
A lot of them are shut down. You go down to a town centre, what is it? It's just some kind of grey infrastructure mess.
Yeah, and it's going to get worse because they're going to start putting them in houses like this.
So today I am fucking livid with the country that I fucking live in. Absolutely raging. I found out today that the estate my children go to school on has literally, there's 2 schools on the estate my kids go to school on. One of them being my kids' school and another being 2 minutes up the road. Literally, they basically should be classed as the same road. That's how close they are. They've put a HMO. I can't even, I'm that fucking livid. They put an HMO at the bottom of the driveway of the other school, which was the caretaker's house of the school.
So they're going from the hotels now into the gyms and the empty buildings and the empty lots in your local neighbourhood.
And well, where's the English flags? Do you know what I mean? Like, the one thing I noticed about being in the Philippines, in Thailand, even in America, they proudly show their flags. I have not seen an English flag since being out here. Now, I don't know if you've been keeping up what's been happening lately. Some people have been putting the English flag up, St. George's flag. and the council's been actively taking it down.
And that goes back to my previous point when I said a lot of the councillors are Muslims or Islamists, and a lot of the NGOs that have been taken over by them, they've heavily influenced local governments and, to a lesser extent, government itself. What they do is they go after the English flag for a simple reason. They see the English flag as the flag that was used during the Crusades, and that's why they despise it so much, and that's why they've been trying to suppress it so much. They see it as an affront to them, like doubly so, especially when it's on their territory.
If that doesn't say something, like either one, that whoever's in charge hates England, or two,
yeah, they do.
They actually hate the people. I don't know what to say.
Yes, exactly.
When I'm abroad, something that you quickly find out about you, and it's something I found out about myself. Like, you don't realise how English you are, or wherever you're from, until you leave. Now, when people used to ask me, because obviously, let's be honest, I don't look like a typical English person, because people try to guess where I'm from and they have no idea until I start speaking. Well, when someone asked me when I was abroad, I would proudly say I'm English. That's what I mean, because England, let's be honest, they've done a lot over the time.
Okay, that's what I was waiting for. So yes, he claims that he's English, and while he can claim to be a Brit, it's clear to everyone looking at him, that he's not English. Again, he can claim to be a Brit. He can't claim to be a Briton, which is different, but he can claim to be a Brit, and as such British. A British Brit. We have to admit that the country isn't of an infinite size, and the economy can only take so many people, especially so many people that seem to be useless, right? So get rid of those people, and the ones that are left are the ones that are useful, and they're the ones, and then we can separate the ones that are useful but are not patriotic, because that's important. We need people that love this country as well. And if you're not patriotic, then I'm sorry, I don't think you'll have a place in the future of this country. Moving on, but I'm not including this guy, by the way. He seems like a decent guy. So yeah, what's he called? He Who Dares Wins. He's got 840 subs if you want to go over there. And this woman here as well, another person with a different perspective, and one that I would have if I was in any other person's country.
So guys, those ethnic minorities that think that they can live in England and shit on English people and the English culture, these ethnic minorities need to be called out. Now, since I joined X literally when the beginning of this year, there is so much crazy stuff that I get to see, and that does really make my blood boil. And one such example is of this nutcase, Narinder Kaur.
So Narinder Kaur is a really good example of someone that I would deport. She seems to be very anti-British, very anti-English, and pretty racist as well. Every time that she tweets something, it's as though she's actively engaging in race baiting, which seems to be working, by the way, because her channel exploded. I'm sure she's getting loads of pounds on Grok or X or whatever it's called, just from race baiting alone. And then every time she goes onto the news programs, she's used as the person that is the antagonist against the defendant of British values or some such tripe.
So this is yesterday where British people in Britain are raising the British flag. And this silly, ridiculous woman seems to have an issue with it. She posts a tweet saying, going around raising flags in what's apparently called Operation Raise the Colours, intentionally in front of Turkish barbers and Chinese takeaway, where they probably got a fresh trim and a Chinese before.
You need to look at that the other way around. So the Chinese and the Turks clearly demonstrating their own nationality and aesthetic values over the English aesthetics that they're living in. It's them that are imposing their aesthetics over the native people.
We're heading home. Thick as fuck. This is the picture, guys, right? And these are proud British men raising the British flag in Britain.
And by the way, I'm not saying that they shouldn't be allowed to do that. I think we do live in a free society, and also markets choose. You know, if people choose to see less Chinese shops, they'll just stop going to them, and then there'll be less Chinese shops. No, I'm saying don't try and spin this around on us when we can very easily spin this around on you, and that's way more problematic for you.
I see no issue with this picture at all. Actually, I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I had to comment on this post because I was really, really annoyed. And I wrote, "This is England. They can raise this flag wherever they want, thick as fuck."
Oh, also,
Now,
just before you forget, she also said this about the English, Narinder Kaur. Just in case you forget. I'll remind you again in the future, just in case you forget.
really annoyed me because what I'm experiencing and what I'm feeling is that there are a growing number of ethnic minorities who think that it's okay to shit on the English people and also live here. And I feel like it's my duty as an ethnic minority to call these ridiculous, stupid clowns out. So all I could say is, what flag are you expecting in this country? This is Britain. We are living in England. Expect to see the British flag, the English flag in England. It's absolutely ridiculous.
And I'll be honest, some Scottish people need to understand this as well. Even the Northern Irish understand the value of a flag. Now, just because the SNP stole yours, it doesn't mean that you can't steal it back.
And I would say very racist of anyone to not want to see that flag in this country. And, you know, I'm fed up of these people slagging England off, slagging English culture, slagging the English people. Like, it's really, really annoying. And all I could say is that these people, and a lot of these people, these ethnic minorities, like, come on, let's be honest, right? Our parents, our grandparents, we do come from third world countries. And I
Thank you. Thank you.
think, sadly, a lot of these people who are ethnic minorities don't have an appreciation of English culture. They don't have an appreciation of the literature.
Well, I mean, to be fair to them, how can you appreciate something that you've never lived through? And maybe this is part of the grand experiment. We're like a filter for the garbage. Shit. The Great British Filter. Nice.
The laws and regulations and everything that this country has given the world. And all they think about is colonialism. And they think that that's a good excuse to now shit on English people. This is what you would call a third world mentality, where even where someone is born in the first world, they are holding on to their third world mentality. And sadly, a lot.
That's great. That's great. I like that. So when it comes to the generational, what seems to happen generationally in the UK when it comes to immigration is that they actually get more radicalized and hate the country more as each generation unfolds, which is the opposite of what they said would happen, which is interesting.
A lot of this behavior and mindset is learnt behavior. And all I could say to you guys is, you guys, right, you ethnic minorities like you guys who hate the British flag, and you know, don't miss an opportunity to try to belittle English people. You guys are causing divisions within this country. You guys are the racists.
Yep.
You guys and the pathetic victimhood mentality you have. It's really off-putting. And all I could say is, guys, I'm sorry, right? If you're coming from an ethnic minority background, but you have insecurities, those insecurities of yours will not go away by shitting on the English people. You know, you need to get some, I don't know, counseling done or some trauma therapy or whatever's going on in your.
Well, the thing is, it just doesn't work, as they've been finding out. They've been led into a false sense of security by our kindness, and our kindness has allowed ourselves as a country, as a civilization, to prostrate ourselves to welcome these guests. And as we've been prostrating ourselves before them for decades now, getting more and more kicks, more and more abuse, yes, instead of being kind to us, they've actually turned out to be the most horrific of guests. Unfortunately, boomers like this are lost to the world.
Your front garden.
This is my front garden.
This is not your
This
front
is where
garden.
I live, love. I live here.
This is not your front garden.
live
Do
here.
you know what?
This is public. That is public
Look,
property.
I'm going to take a guess by the necklace that you're wearing and by your t-shirt. You're left-leaning. Am I right in saying that?
I'm not interested in the way I'm leaning. I'm very concerned about you breaking.
It's about what you're thinking. Yes, I know. Anyone that wants to believe in global warming and thus the global warming directives, is that the word? The ones where they want to just control your entire lives and what you eat and where you go and how much energy you use every day. You know, whether your fart is too much methane in your farts, right? Well, anyone that wants to go into that kind of totalitarian nightmare isn't the kind of person that I'm going to be relying upon when it comes to who's allowed in this country and how many are allowed in. I'm just not going to trust what you say. So it's not just boomers, but it is people like that have a problem. And maybe it's that we've got a problem. You know, we've been accepting these people for too long. We've been allowing them to have their voices for too long. And it's allowed people like this to do what they're doing now in our countries, in our cities, in our towns and boroughs. Raising foreign flags should be illegal in this country. I don't care if it's a ceremony or not. You shouldn't be allowed to do it, especially not a foreigner doing it, surrounded by other foreigners watching the foreigner raise the foreign flag. No thanks. That should not be allowed. And of course, it's not the first time, guys. This happens almost every day. There's always pictures of this shit happening, which means it's not really a ceremony, is it? It's probably just an everyday thing. Meanwhile, yes, this is actually real. Some guy, Bright Spark, started singing I Love Bacon, and the police, being completely neutral and not Islamified, of course the police aren't Islamified. Of course they're not controlled by counsellors that are Islamists. Of course they're not. Anyway, so the police that are definitely in love with the culture of the British and the British values and the British people arrested a British man for singing I Love Bacon.
Okay, we love bacon. Why? Because I like bacon. I say he likes bacon.
Oh, guys, you are siding very clearly on one side of the ideological argument here, and it's probably not the best one to side with. I'm just saying, there's more of us than them. And if you're going to well, depends what they do, right? I mean, I've heard rumours that it would just take a few weapons in the right hands, spread across the country, and, well, it's a different story then, isn't it? But let's leave that massive black pill for another time and move on to the next thing. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to, upset the YouTube gods. White women, they'll reason us out of this one, right? They'll say the right thing for once, right? Come on.
I think it's a bit of a shame, really, because to be honest, I've lived in the area for quite a long time and there's never really been any trouble from the hotel or the residents of the hotel.
She's talking about the Epping Hotel, the one with the migrants in there that have committed sexual crimes. That hotel, there's never been a problem there. In essence, she's actually admitting to something. Both her ignorance and the fact that there wasn't a problem in that hotel before the migrants moved in. So it's like a double dumb.
Hotel until quite recently, so I think it's a little bit of a shame, and I don't know where the government will find to put them next, but hopefully it's somewhere safe.
Well, put them in your house.
It's not their fault, they try to, like everyone, try to make a living.
I have no idea what he's saying. I don't even know if that's English. Because the other side, their women know exactly what's going on. They know exactly what's going on, and they're open about it, and maybe some of our women secretly do too.
The Western leaders, your borders are fading.
True.
Your disease is being sucked out, and the unity of the Islamic Brotherhood is taking form.
Well, thanks for telling us.
The Sons of Islam have already pledged that this battle is a battle of either victory or martyrdom.
Okay, so you'll fight to the death too. That's good to know. Thanks for telling us that as well.
We reject your flags and the call for jihad.
So you absolutely refuse to integrate as well. So basically you're saying that you're a foreign enemy willing to fight to the death. Good to know. Thanks.
Has started. and it won't be long before
Oh, and you're starting a jihad. That's
it
good.
is you that will be feasted upon.
And you want to eat us, you cannibal. Okay, good to know. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, we can trust this one here. You know, this one seems nice. Here's another genetically superior high IQ migrant that they've found under a rock somewhere.
Stop that.
How was it being in the hotel when you saw the violence outside and the protesting?
Yeah, scary, like that's
Dude, I'm just impressed they found someone that can speak English, I'll be honest.
the only word to describe it. Scary. Nowadays it's a bit calm, but in the beginning it was so violent, you know.
Don't care. I don't really care. I know it wasn't violent, by the way. There was like 1 or 2 scuffles, but it wasn't violent. So he's full of shit. And I still don't care, even if it was.
A lot of guys took some beating, you know, in the beginning. Scary.
What were they doing? Why? Because I'll tell you one thing. The English don't actually go around just beating people up for no reason. I don't know. Let's trust the illegal migrant.
No, it's just, it's an emotional thing now rather than a physical thing. It's just
Oh, he's got emotions, guys. He hasn't got those dead eyes.
painful, emotionally painful now.
They've got a message to the residents of Epping and the local area.
Yeah.
Where are your schools? How it started.
Your 5-year-old's first Valentine's to a grown man in a migrant hotel. Great. Schools for Sanctuaries sounds wholesome until you realise what it actually is. They're encouraging children, some as young as nursery age, to write Valentine's Day cards to adult men they've never met. Men from unvetted backgrounds. Men who, in far too many cases, come from cultures where grooming, child marriage and abuse are ignored or excused. And we're meant to believe this is just inclusion. No, this is breaking down your child's instinctive boundaries. It's training them to see strangers, grown men, as potential romantic recipients. What the fuck? They wouldn't dare do this with prisoners. They wouldn't dare do it with registered sex offenders. So why is it acceptable when it's under the banner of refugees?
And how it's going.
Perfect Valentine's Day card. You're the one. Nah, too cheesy. What about this one? Cute, but not what I'm looking for. Now what about this one? Together with refugees. Now that's a Valentine's Day card I love. This Valentine's Day, show love in a way that matters and stand together with refugees.
I say please give us a second chance. Please treat us the same way you treated us before the incident, because we are the same people.
No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. That's not how it works at all. It's called a reputation for a reason, numbnuts. You can't... Fucking hell. Can you just please forget that anything ever happened and just treat us like you've never met us and that you trust us?
Before the incident, you didn't view us as criminals or anything. You were okay.
Dude, the crime statistics tell us everything we need to know. Where are you from, anyway? Somalia? That's one of the highest ones. Eritrea? That's one of the highest ones. Shall I keep going?
Before the incident took place, we are the same people. One person doesn't change us. What one person does not, represent us or what we are.
He's going to teach us about British values next.
Stop that.
So I think for me, by the way, it's a particularly simple response to this. I think the whole of the UK would benefit if we did this, if we just accepted this, if we finally turned the page and started reading this out loud. Because I can't see any alternative. But I just don't think that multicultural societies with ghettoized ideological war zones is probably good for the future. But that's just me. I'll see you later.